Happy Friday, everybody. This is Gaye Ann Bruno, host and producer of the Between the Sheets podcast. You're watching us here live from the city of Burbank. Hi, Tony.
Hello.
Hello. I love our transitions. Thank you, Tony. You're the best. You can call us at 323-524-2599. And you can follow me on Instagram, QTEBrat. And right now we're back to regularly scheduled program where we'll have the first and third Friday of every month. United Broadcasting Network. I'll go around the room really quick. I'm really excited. We have a wonderful guest. I've known her for a really long time, off and on, in my career at where I'm working. So we will start with, to my left, Isabel Gallardo.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, Isabel.
Hi.
I really got to say thank you to Isabel and Sheena, who's on the other side, Sheena Metal. They drive in from Huntington Beach to be on this show.
We do.
So I sort of said, I really don't want Zoom, and they were very nice and accommodating, so I appreciate both of you for doing the drive. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Sheena Metal.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? It's good to be here.
Good to be here, too. And then I have Mara Shane back with us. She's not at her dad's.
No, I'm actually for once here. How great to be back.
And then we have Tony on the ones and tunes. Everybody else who normally pops in. Ronnie may call in, but no Zoomy. And Cheryl, God bless Cheryl. Her career is taking off, and she's doing all these wonderful psychic conventions and whatnot with Thomas John. So we miss all of you guys and hope that you can. That was not politically correct, you guys, but either way, you, they, thems, please come and join us when you can. And then without further ado, I'd like to introduce my guest. She has been an actress, producer,
yes.
right.
You're going to say how many years?
No,
no, don't.
You know what? You sit too close to me to give me a smack on air. I'm not going to do this. But I have known her. I mean, I've been at my position a little while, and we have crossed paths over the years. She's another Jersey girl, except I'm from the hood and she's not.
South Jersey. Well, all of New Jersey.
All of New Jersey. Well, we all escaped. The main part is we all escaped.
We did.
If we had a brain in our, if we had any sort of like synapses that fired, we left. But she's, I was reading her bio, and my favorite part is when I asked her, she didn't say go through a publicist, which really was like a nice, and but more importantly, I loved what you emailed me, and I had to send the quote to the girl saying she wants to talk deep, and that's music to and that's music to all our ears. We don't like fluff.
I did say that.
You did say that, and I
good.
shared it with my girls, and now I'm sharing it with our audience. Okay. But I know you all know who she is. It's Joanna Cassidy, and I thought it would be probably the best time to talk to her now because you just got cast as a guest star on The L Word.
Yes, I did. Soon to come out.
Soon to come out.
Yes.
So we want to hear about your experiences, but I know you can't really say anything about.
I can say a little bit.
Okay, so
cool.
you'll and Mara
we'll
is obsessed with it, and she wants to marry.
Oh, it's the reason why I'm gay, basically. Well, not this show, but I mean the original L Word.
Back with Jennifer Beals.
Yes, I can thank Catherine Menning for turning me. But then she had to go and get married, and so I'll never actually get to physically
experience.
Experience that. So I have to go for lookalike Shanes wherever I can.
We warned you it was deep,
They're
Joanna.
around.
I bet they were.
There are a lot of doppelgangers.
I know.
I'll tell you
I mean,
right
you
now.
have been Emmy nominated for Buffalo Bill, which I remember.
The Golden Globe for that, right?
Yes,
as well. And one of my all-time favorite shows, 6 Feet Under.
Yes.
But did your career kind of get off the road with, was it Blade Runner, the movie? Was that like the first big thing that you got notoriety
I guess
for?
So, it's been on and off and up and down over the years, and which is okay. In terms of a breakout, I guess the Blade Runner sort of, because I was naked. Everyone was.
That's how you break out.
God, that's how you break
Wow.
It's
out.
Hollywood.
Yeah, I remember I had I worked on a TV show called Family Law, and Kathleen Quinlan was the lead star, was the lead role, and she had done the movie The Doors, which I had never seen. But when I, was, she was naked. And I remember meeting her, and I'm like, I just don't know if I can look at you like normal now because I've seen you naked. And she was like, get over it. I'm like, okay, thanks. But then she proceeded to ask me because the show went on for a few seasons. She knew I was gay, and she said, "I have a question." And this was really out of the blue. I said, "Yes, Kathleen." She said, "Do you think gay women would be interested in me?" I said, "Are you wanting to turn?" She goes, "No, I mean, like on the gay rater. I mean, how do I rate?" I said, "Well, I can't speak for the entire lesbian community, but I will tell you this: when I was younger, I had a big photo in my room from the newspaper of 'I never promised you a rose garden.' So I said, so this little lesbian was smitten many, many years ago."
Okay. Now, that's anyway. Go ahead.
No, continue.
No, I was just going to say how. What do you look for in a woman?
You know, I have high standards because I've
As
made
you
so many
should.
damn mistakes. So, you make all these
Don't we
mistakes.
all?
And
I think vice versa too.
Yeah.
with heterosexuals.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
But what do I look for? A job? I mean, really, they have to have, I'm not kidding, they have to have a job. Because I have been in relationships where I have been the breadwinner, and I do get resentful.
Yes,
So, a job is important. I don't care what job, just bring the money in,
self-supporting,
Self-supporting and independent.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely. That's crucial.
I don't like jealousy. I don't like possessiveness. We've had this discussion before about, why is it, and I can't really speak for, straight people, but why is it that when two people unite for the first time, they don't automatically trust each other. They automatically don't trust each other. So they spent half the beginning of the courting period proving to that person to trust them. And I think we have it all ass backwards.
Oh, we do. There's no doubt about it.
But don't you also think that sometimes if somebody is so distrusting of you, I've learned in my life, maybe that's the person you need to keep the eye on. Because
Definitely.
sometimes I think people look at other people and they see the reflection of themselves. In the spiritual community, we say the eyes are mirrors. So sometimes if they're not trusting you and they're jealous, maybe there's something about them you don't know.
I agree. I stay out of relationships for the most part. It's just been the way I've rolled, But I usually am very trusting of people because I haven't been, stabbed in the back yet. So
You're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. But most importantly, I am burning up to know what it was like when you were on Melrose Place.
Oh my gosh, you're taking me back.
Taking her back.
She watches the Golden Girls religiously.
Oh yeah, but
I mean,
Melrose Place is the best soap that has ever been made, in my opinion.
It was pretty incredible. I'm awful, and I'll be honest about it.
You played Kate.
Yes.
And
wasn't I
the mother of Samantha, the girl that was currently with Billy?
Yes, but
Billy Andrew Shue.
And I stole Billy, didn't I?
You warned him to stay away from your daughter.
Okay.
Because you didn't like him because you were that kind of mom in the show, and you pulled a gun out on him.
I did.
Yes.
The drama.
This is like a fangirl.
I
room.
know,
See,
right?
you've been in so many wonderful things
Falcon
that
Crest.
it's probably hard to remember these little ones.
Look, I just pulled up her IMDb, and this is what I've worked with her on.
Dallas.
NCIS
And
New
Dallas,
Orleans,
I saw you.
Life in Pieces, Odd Couple, Criminal Minds, Ghost Whisperer, District. I did the Rockford Files movie, which was Jimmy's last few, things before
Yes.
he passed. I go all the way back to a CBS after-school special.
That's right.
Northern Exposure, and then of course you worked with one of my I love her dearly, Dana Delaney. You were in Body of Proof.
Yep.
And Boston Legal, which another iconic show. So you really haven't picked shit to work on. I mean, seriously. I mean,
6 feet under.
And shit didn't pick me, so there you go.
no.
I'm dying to see 6 Feet Under. I
that was a
never
classic.
watched
You never
it. Back,
saw that?
I never saw it, but there is
you-
something on your reel that had me in stitches where you were throwing the ashes off the.
Oh, yes.
Was that from 6 Feet Under?
Yes, it was.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I can't wait because I like your character a lot in that, so I want to see. I want to go watch it.
Such a malevolent character.
I
that
can't wait. It was very funny.
Somehow you ended up loving. I don't know how that happened.
Joanna, you have such a varied background from Blade Runner to these incredibly successful, popular shows. What would you say is one of the biggest misconceptions about you?
if there are any.
If
Boy,
there
that's an interesting question. You threw me on that. My heart jumped. Well, first of all, I think that I'm a mystery. I don't think, and I've never really made it a point to be out there, telling people who I am. I don't talk a lot on social media as to what I've done or what I'm up to, or I will do the business part of it.
we need to
but
check TMZ. No kidding.
yeah, right. But personally, it's nobody's business, and I think that maybe I've missed opportunities by not drawing people with me that way. But I think that I'm mysterious. I think that people, because I was only married one time, I have 2 children. I think people think that I'm gay.
Oh, I've
I
never
think
heard
they
that.
wish that you were.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Mara,
that,
just Mara.
or
Gaye
people
Ann.
think.
No,
that
I
I'm-
did. I have to tell you, true story. If I'm going to just blatantly put it
No,
out
let's
there.
get it out.
Here we go.
I went to her home many years ago to do photo approvals before digital, okay? And I went to her house, and I was so nervous because my heart was like ding, 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 because you are so my type. I mean seriously. And
No, it's true. It's really true.
she knows who my type is.
Yeah.
I mean, and
We'll protect you. You're not going to want
no,
to
you're not. Don't worry
Trump.
about it.
It's
Don't worry about
okay.
it. I'm 58. I'm 59 now, so I'm good. But this was like this new kid, like bright eyes and bushy tailed in the entertainment industry. And I'm like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. And I was kind of nervous, so I had a little crush on you back then.
Oh,
I mean, still now probably, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm just saying. If you're gonna put it out there.
That's so cute. That's very sweet.
But I had heard rumors. That
See? There you
I
go.
did. I really had said. I have heard rumors, whispered that you are gay. And I'm thinking no. I mean, because especially like if anybody was hiding it and understood back in the day, you needed to. I mean, guys needed to hide it,
yeah.
women needed to hide it, but anybody who's sort of gay now, you really don't need to hide it. And then you get to a certain age and it's like, well, who gives a fuck then? You know what I mean?
But Joanna, I'm sorry.
No, please.
Joanna is a private person, so
Yes.
it wouldn't. Yeah, we wouldn't.
Joanna,
know.
do you believe, because there's a lot of artists believe, right, that an actor should be like a blank canvas, that you shouldn't know too much about them.
Exactly.
Because then you can buy them in any role. I think Noah Wiley told me that. The idea that he didn't want to do social media because he liked the idea that people didn't know that much about him. And then you didn't have preconceived notions like, oh, well, she's playing this role, but I know this about her. Because people do that. They connect the dots. They forget it's acting.
Yeah, except for some of the people nowadays that are famous, the younger generation, they like to divulge those things to be a spokesperson
Right.
for that
It's a
cause.
different time,
yeah,
though.
different
I
time.
think they revealed too much. I think you said something really poignant, which was that, perhaps you said no and you missed out on some things. But I think that when you say no to one thing, you're saying yes to something else.
I think so.
And I think conversely, when you say yes to something, you have to be very selective because then you're saying no to something else. So you're probably exactly where you need to be.
Yeah.
I was sitting in the Santa Monica Auditorium many, many, many years ago, and it was a huge group of people. We were all sitting on the floor because we were with the Swami Muktananda.
Wow.
And he
Yes.
was, and we all had our mats, and we're sitting there. Hours have gone by, but now we're in a deep meditation. And he said, "I may come by you, and I may talk to you or whisper in your ear or whatever, but just now my legs are cramping. I am dying." And the next thing I know is I get swatted over the head with a palm frond. and he leans down to me and says, "Rakoram." And I'm going, "Rakoram, what does that mean? What does that mean?" So after the whole event, which was many more hours, I went over and I asked one of the Indian helpers, and I said, "What does that mean?" And he said, "It means flow like a river."
Oh.
And
Yeah.
I was so impressed by that because that's what my life has been like. It's like flowing down a river. I'm not swaddled. I'm not in a basket.
Probably good.
Yeah, and no one's hitting you with palm fronds, so
that seems
You're
like the
safe.
total.
unless you like it.
Well, no,
Right.
no, I don't think so. unless I'm in Russia, and then when you go and have one of those hot baths, those strange saunas, and that's fine. But no, it's sort of been like that. It's sort of been. I never know what's going to happen. I think instead of a blank canvas, which is very astute, I think I'm more like an empty vessel.
Right.
Because I think you just
Right.
fill it up, fill it in. More. We're just let it go. We're communicators. We're people that need to give a message to. Sometimes I feel like I'm an alien. I don't even know where I came from. These sweet people in New Jersey, and how did I land here? Really?
No, it is true. It is
really
very true.
There was no direction as a child. I was a butterfly collector. I was a scientist, and then it segued into being an art student. Studied fine art at Syracuse.
So you went to Syracuse, okay.
Yes. And then all of a sudden I met this man. We got married. I had my children, but he was accepting a residency in San Francisco. So I went from there to there, nowhere land. I didn't know anybody. And I was half doctor's wife, half hippie. and I seriously.
That's interesting, isn't
Height
it?
Street.
Go to the park during the day.
Yes, you're in San Francisco. You have this free-flowing nature. You're
Yep.
an artist, but you marry someone in the field of psychiatry,
Yes,
which
that's
is
right.
completely opposite.
That's right.
Yeah, but it stopped. It ended. There was a reason.
It ended. Yeah, it ended. But, yes, someone very rigid who had to follow all the rules, and I kind of didn't, and my mind doesn't really work that way. And
Yay.
um,
Yay. An independent, strong, thought-provoking person.
Don't you think as artists, and we're all artists here, everyone in this room to some
I think
extent, we're just here, right, to deliver messages. And for me, it's all very spiritual. The spirit, or whatever you want to call God energy, kind of moves a message through you, and you interpret it in a way and put it out there in a way that people can understand, and then it's a message for them.
Absolutely.
I would like to do that bigger. I was talking to a man not too long ago, and I said, "So what's your deal? You're a builder, designer, and architect." And he said, "I just had my fifth child," and I said, "Why?" I said, "Why do you have 5 children? Why?" And he said, "Because that's why we're here. We're here to
Procreate.
mate and procreate." And I said, "I don't know about that. I don't know that I agree with that."
Maybe for him,
Maybe
that
for
was
him.
his deal. Yeah.
But that's a very interesting point. I would like to do bigger messages. I think
But you're already on such a grand scale. How could you
Yes.
be bigger?
Well,
I don't think I've really chosen a path to express my interest in.
Just
when
when
you
you
get
speak,
like sort of when were you always spiritual, or sort of what led you to that?
I can't say that I've been a quote God follower, because I've been all over the place with my
Sure.
religious
but that's still being a
beliefs.
God follower.
I guess
the
so.
same energy
Right.
loves us all, right?
Right.
It can be the
Yes.
universe. Doesn't
Yes.
even have to be God.
Right.
Yes,
I know you love animals. You have your art.
I do.
But
And
are
the-
you? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No,
Laura.
in the art in various forms. I know you do some interior design. Do you feel that you use multiple platforms to really express that message, or do you feel you're still trying to, find?
It's really important for me to stay grounded,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that takes. Whether that's traveling and starting charity programs for animals, which is really a huge
Love
interest
that.
of mine.
That's
Huge.
so wonderful.
Or planting another tree, or teaching people about how to take care of a garden, how to plant a garden, how to nurture it, how to feed it. Because you feed the garden, you're feeding yourself.
Yep.
All the trees are connected, interwoven. They talk to each other. There's no question about that. I have trees.
Wouldn't it be
in-
wonderful if the human race could do that?
I know.
Yes.
Yes.
We'd be in a much better place.
I know we would.
you
be
know
the
what's really-
the gentleness of that. Go ahead.
What's really fascinating to me is that you have achieved, if we're going to look at your resume and look at your career, so much that
Incredible.
a lot of people would lust for, and they just haven't gotten to that form of fame and success. But yet you still said that you're still sort of searching. So it's, if you could help us to understand what is it like when, I mean, you've got a Golden Globe and you're, looking at you from an outer perspective. It's like, my gosh, I would assume this was your passion and everything, but you said, no, I'm still sort of searching for it.
I am, and yes, I have these awards. And I rarely brag, but I'm going to. I've got my
Go ahead.
We're ready.
my 2 Canadian
Yes.
Best Comedian Emmys,
Nice.
and I
Yeah.
have an Oscar from Spain.
Yes.
This is Geordie, and I just, lots of little things out there, which is great, and I like having. They're in a drawer.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least you don't own. Like a lot of people have them like as they hold doorstops.
Right. It's
Which is
true.
not a joke, by the way. I've been to many houses.
Yeah,
No,
they
it's
probably
sort-
make a good one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
But Joanna, I have a question. It's not even a question; it's an observation because you, as Mara said, you have a lot of these accolades, but that doesn't define who you are. And I think the photography, the interior design, the gardening, just everything else on the side sort of makes you a whole person. There's more inside of Joanna Cassidy than I'm an actress. And I think that's I think acting, of course, is your passion. It's fulfilling. But if I have to jump, I'd say all these other things are components of who actually make you whole.
Well, there was a time in my life that, I was very ego-driven. I also had to support myself and my children. So, there were methods to my madness. But, as the years go on, and I've seen it through the years now that I'm not so, obsessed by myself and all the other stuff.
Since you got hit with the palm frond.
Right.
That's right.
Just smacked it
works.
right out of you. You are healed.
But I see how people struggle. I see how people have difficulty communicating and being able to be honest with one another.
Authentic.
And sit down and tell the truth. My God, in my day when cartoons, well, of course they're still doing in the newspaper, their cards, and all the truths are in a little cloud up above that. Well, why can't we say the truth to someone? And sometimes not that we're going to go to the place where we're going to be unkind, but to listen, we don't even compliment each other enough. I mean, how often do we say?
But you know what's more important?
What's that?
We have a really hard time looking in the mirror and complimenting ourselves.
Right.
I
It's
think
so hard.
because we've always talk about this where yes, you love others, but when do you really sit within yourself to learn to love yourself?
Well, I think that British actress who did the movie, oh my gosh, what's her name? From Harry Potter, and she.
Yes, and she left
took
to
her
go.
clothes off at
Yeah.
the very end of
Yeah.
it. She had hired a prostitute to educate her sexually, and honestly, at the end when she stripped down, I thought that was one of the most incredible acts of bravery that any actor can do, aside from doing a play about hair, which everyone stripped down then, but they were also 20 years old. But here she is, I think she's in her 60s or something, and she stripped down and she said, you know what, this is good. And she's not.
Yeah.
She's not perfect by most people's
Was
standards
it really
or
her?
magazine standards, She's
Is that
not.
Emma Thompson? Is that who that
Yeah,
was?
Yes.
was it
Yes.
really
Emma
Emma's
Thompson.
body, you
Yes,
think?
yes.
Wow.
She's incredible.
Yeah, she's incredible. I mean,
I have
British
never-
actors are so much better
Yeah.
about that. I think
They
I've seen
are.
every British actor naked in something.
I mean, even Helen Mirren. Like,
Right.
I have the
Beautiful.
hots for her. I don't care what my friends say that I have. I like the geriatric crowd. And I'm like, you know what? They're the women of substance. But yeah, you're right. Every
Well, more than that, they're women of confidence.
Yes.
But I think in England the play's the thing, right? It's about if it fits
Theater.
the part,
Yep.
you take your clothes off. If it doesn't fit the part, there's no reason to do it. We have such a problem with nudity in this country.
Americans do,
because
yes.
the lovely Puritans
Yeah,
came here
yes,
and
yes.
seated us.
Yeah.
And well, not my Irish immigrant family, but a lot of us. that we have such a strange thing about that, and we need more of that. I remember when Kathy Bates, right, took her clothes off in that film with Jack Nicholson, and I thought, this is amazing, because she is saying, this is me, this is what I look like, this is right for the part, and I'm not going to shy away from it. And I think it's so wonderful sometimes how artists can help break down those stereotypes and those, bad kind of mores and things that make us too uptight.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I agree. But I don't think it should become something that is so huge that everyone wants to strip down all the time.
Right.
Well, I think when the story is I think when you have to use sex to sell the story, then there's a problem with the story or the character, and as opposed to using the intimacy or the sexuality as part of the art.
It's like when comedians say foul words all the time.
Exactly.
Make people no, that's
I agree with you.
not happening that way.
You should be able to articulate yourself.
But sex and nudity are two different things.
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
Exactly.
sometimes nudity is just freedom.
Yes.
And sometimes it's just nice to see somebody walking around their house naked in a show the way that we all walk around our house naked at home. Do you know? Because then it's
I
real.
don't walk around my house naked. I don't. I have a
I-
cat.
I-
I guess.
Are you think the cat's looking at you?
What? No, I don't walk around naked. You do not. You do.
Oh,
no,
I,
you don't.
I so do. My cat's like, I'm naked and you should be too. And I'm like, right on, Colin.
So
Let's do
don't.
this.
I'm like so. I mean, seriously, like you think I'm not shy, but I can't. I'm a little shy when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Well, I swim naked in my
That's
pool.
the
I mean,
best.
But do your neighbor? Can
It
your
is
neighbors
the
see
best.
you?
No,
Well, that's
of
what I
course
mean.
not.
I mean, like my house is all windows. I'm not going to
Yeah,
walk
me
around
too.
naked and give someone a show. I mean, it's like.
Okay.
Okay, well that's
All right.
totally.
It's
But
been
then
brought
you
to
have
my
to be-
attention that I may on occasion have walked around naked, and my neighbors could
Well, you just like that. I mean, you just want attention.
no.
Yeah,
I
but
live
then there's
next-
being emotionally naked, which is
also important.
Yeah.
which
I
you have to
think
be
that
right.
is number one.
That's
I
the
really
most.
think that's it, and that's what I'm sort of focusing on now. Is I have this thing called Coach the World, and I talk to people, and that people can ask me anything, and I'm encouraging people to say how they feel. It's
love
not a
that.
terrible thing to say how you feel. We can deal with that. We can't deal with the hidden stuff because the vibe is really true.
Right.
People have a vibe, and it's in the room. It is in the room. So why not say it? Get it out. Get it over with.
I think. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people, I'm pretty blunt. So, I've always said, but I've always been kind too. But I always say people either love me or they dislike me. There's no gray. And a lot of people say that I talk too much or I speak my
No,
mind.
you don't.
And
I'll tell you
it
no, you
bothers me. And it bothers me. And it's like, I'm sorry, but maybe what I have to say isn't important to you, but I am allowed to express myself. And I don't hide my feelings. I mean, everybody on this panel, we always say we're empaths. I'm very emotional. Am I highly sensitive? No, but I am very emotional. And it comes out in a lot of ways. But I will not allow someone to tell me.
I want to dig into that a little bit because I'm an empath as well. And I was earlier, before we started the show, we were talking about H.G. Tudor, the most famous narcissist.
Yeah.
And I did a test with him.
Oh, you
I
did?
took one of those tests to see where I was in the scale of.
And you're going to tell us the results?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm an empath.
Oh, okay.
With some narcissistic tendencies.
Okay.
Which is not,
Okay.
Which is, I think we all do,
I
actually.
think that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's really
It's
okay,
really
but-
weird because I've been asking my therapist a lot about narcissism and about borderline and those two different, how they're all kind of run together.
Bless you.
I'm trying to understand it a lot more, and she's explaining it to me as actually the brain lacks a certain ability to separate from other people. Like the narcissist, when you're a baby and you're born and you think your mom is part of you and all that, well, then eventually we get older and we realize there are other people that do their own things, and I'm not, they're not me and I'm not them. But true narcissists can don't have that pull away. They don't have that. But yet it's funny because everybody has a little bit of narcissism in them. So it's just different degrees.
Yes.
And how much you can tolerate, I
Well,
guess.
according to HG, the narcissist basically uses people as fuel.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
he will seduce,
Yep.
pull you in, then start to degrade you, push
Yep.
you,
Manipulate.
know,
It's
manipulate, hurt you.
gaslighting,
Break
love
you down.
bomb.
Yes.
We know
Yes,
all the
yes, yes,
buzzwords.
I love
Yes.
those.
I love those words.
They're pretty descriptive.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I think they're pretty good. My hair is.
A
tickling my
narcissist doesn't make their own light,
No.
so they need
Yeah.
yours.
Right.
Exactly.
Very
Oh, very
true,
well
Sheena.
put.
Exactly.
Well
And
put,
so,
yes.
and if you're an empath, then you're like a big juicy cheeseburger,
I know.
and they just never get enough.
Right.
But yeah, and I think empaths wind up with narcissists a lot.
Does that mean that butterflies and moths are narcissists?
No, I
No?
don't think so. Why?
No. Well, they fly to the light.
Light. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, but
Moth
they're
to a flame.
but they're not-
Janet Jackson.
But they're not
you know.
sucking the light. We all like the light. We love sunsets.
why- but
we
here-
love shiny
okay,
things.
here's the
but we're not
question.
trying to suck the energy out.
All right, so let's bring this up. So we are cheeseburgers for narcissists.
Yes.
What-
Double cheeseburger.
Double cheeseburgers without pickles for me, please. But why, as empaths, are we drawn to them? I mean, we know why they're drawn to us.
I think empaths are drawn
Because
to
we're
a lot
addicts.
of people.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
it?
Oh.
I think
Yes.
that's part of it. And
Yeah,
we're
I
also
do.
obsessed with fixing and healing.
Codependency.
true.
Because as an empath, I think a narcissist's energy comes like this, right back at them. A narcissist's energy goes out to the world. So we're always trying to find a way to fix and heal. And then we meet somebody and they're so wonderful to us and we think they're incredible. And then all of a sudden they switch.
Yeah.
And they become somebody else. When I was a little kid, I had this Red Riding Hood doll. And if you turned it the other way, it was Grandma with the bonnet. But then if you switched it around, it was the wolf with the bonnet.
God.
No wonder you're disturbed.
No wonder,
Yes.
I mean, shit.
no wonder I'm a spiritual counselor
Yeah.
now.
Hello.
So I think when they switch on us, we kind of can't believe it. We're still waiting for that pool of light that we fell in love with or we became friends with or was our family member. And we keep waiting for it to come back. I think empaths are cockeyed optimists
We
in
are.
a way.
We are.
We keep thinking,
I
well,
think-
one day we're going to wake up and they're going to be just like they were and everything's going to be okay because at our core, we want everything to be okay.
Yeah.
We want
Yeah, we
everything
do.
to be and everyone to be okay.
Very, very well.
That is very true.
Boy, that was smart.
Thank you.
That was really smart.
Thank you. Welcome to the Irish section.
So do we get to hear a little bit about the L word journey?
Yes, yes, you did.
I was when she's like chomping on the
I'm
bitch.
just like,
I know
ooh, I
she
can't
is.
wait to
so
hear
good
about
for
this.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that, I think the thing that's complicated sometimes for casting people to put me in a place, I've played a lot of mothers to, oh my God, the actors I have been mothers to, you wouldn't believe. I mean, it's pretty incredible. I always think about John Hamm
Oh my.
and James Franco and Robert Downey Jr. and then the NCIS Scott Bakula and Dana Delaney. I mean, it's
Wow.
and with very few years in between. In
Yeah,
some cases.
yeah.
And
But you're not old enough to be some of their mothers. For
Well, you're
real.
playing Tessa's mom, right?
when I, yes.
Oh,
Yes,
you're
I am.
playing Tess. She's the one that.
she's Kate Monig's
Yeah, love interest.
Shane's love interest.
Yes. That's right.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that was who you were playing.
Yes, and I had seen her work before, and
wonderful.
I thought she was amazing.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the storyline was she's always she's worried about her mother being sick. I think
Right,
was
she
the
leaves for Las-
storyline.
to Las Vegas.
Right.
Yep.
So that means you get to deal with Catherine a lot too.
Oh, my goodness.
Right.
Mara's going home in your purse.
Yep.
What's this in my purse?
I would love to know, but I don't think you can comment on her. But what, just anything you could tell us.
Oh my gosh, let me think on this.
Yes,
let me think on
please.
this. So I will say that, and I think I can. I think I can do it. My character has this is a trip, dementia and
Wow.
MS.
Oh,
Oh, both.
So
that's a lot.
That's
There's a soap
lot.
opera
Oh,
for
yeah,
you, Mara.
Just right there.
Wow.
so
Physically
I go, well,
challenging.
this is going to be very interesting. So because people, as we've seen in film and television, who have dementia are kind of all over the place. They can be there, then not be there, and be present, crazy, all that stuff. So I had to sort of regulate it. And at this point, not only do I have to take care of myself, but my focus is on the whole show and what I can contribute and what layers I can add to it and how I can add to it without being such an individual. Of course, there's always that desire to be individual because then you get Emmys and things like that.
Exactly.
Just to be truthful, but it was challenging.
So for that role, because it's not like, how did you get into that role?
Yeah.
How did you get into the MS and dementia? I mean, how do you, as
there's
an
certain
actor,
aspects
prepare?
of that. MS, you get hot and cold. Your brain changes all the time. It's unexpected. You have a lot of pain. Sometimes you can walk really well, and other times you collapse. And I was glad I can't tell that part.
Okay.
Don't tell that part.
So your memory is there, it's not there, it's you're in and out a
Okay.
lot. So that was really fun to play.
Was it challenging for you?
Yes and no. I mean, what I started to say about the casting aspect of my career now, because I think that a lot of times I've gone up for things that they don't quite know what to do with me because I don't look old enough
Right.
and to be the ancient grandmother. So I've missed some things that I really, really wanted. I suppose I could.
Yeah. Can you say one thing you really, really wanted and didn't get?
No, I can't because I'm still sad about it.
Okay.
I'm still sad. I would tell you others, but we don't know who got it. And it'll be very interesting to see.
So it hasn't come out yet.
It has not come out.
But but look at there is this wave now in this industry for women of a certain age to have a rebirth. Perfect
Yes.
example. I worked with Jean Smart
Oh,
on designing women, and look at where she is with
at where
Hacks.
she
She's
is.
amazing.
And she's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
that was so tailor-made
Oh, boy.
for her.
Oh.
So at least this industry is now opening that up where a leading lady and a
be an
hit
older woman,
can be an
yes.
older woman, whereas before, yes, you had to do the grandmother, you had to do the aunt, you had to do the mother. But, for example, I know, Dana, there is no way, I don't think physically possible that you could really be her mother. I know that as a fact, unless you were a dumb teenager.
really stupid teenager.
Stupid,
Yeah,
like
stupid.
really like
From New Jersey.
From New Jersey.
One of
They
my
can make
relatives
you
from
look older,
From
Kentucky.
Jersey
Right.
City, at least. And
Let's
the
go Ocean City. All right.
okay, you do that side, I do my side.
I mean, they can make people look older, right, in the movies,
Of
but
course.
Yes.
but maybe that's just not what they wanted with you. You
But
are
even-
so beautiful that it is kind of.
But look, they're even having projects like Diane Keaton.
I saw that movie.
I mean, I didn't see that movie. I heard it was not very
actually,
good.
I didn't see the movie. I saw the trailer. Yeah,
But then you even have like Grace and Frankie, and they're way older than you. Okay. No, I think I've done the math properly.
Okay. All right.
I've done
Sex
the
and
math
the
properly.
City
Just go with
again.
it. Just go with it.
I'm
Just
going
go.
with
Just
it.
go with it.
Flowing down the river. Yes.
But so are you like now that there's kind of a shift in this? Are you have an agent? I don't know if you have a manager. Are you getting roles? Are you getting like a lot of offers now? Even though maybe you haven't gotten the ones that you wanted, but has that sort of come back full force?
Well, I don't think that, since there are so many people to choose from these days, my God, where you used to have 25 actors auditioning for a part. Now it's thousands. People are coming in from all walks of life. And some of the Australian actors are my favorite people.
Mine
Well,
too.
and that's what I was going to ask you, because I mean, when the Australians came, when the Australians came to the Hollywood,
Australian mass
the Australian
migration.
Right.
exactly.
Invaded.
They took a lot of. I mean, I don't know if they took, but
a lot of parts.
A lot of parts
They just
away.
get right down. To
Right,
it.
they took a lot of parts away from the American actors.
They went
and
to the school
Also
of
the
NIDA.
Canadian actors and the actors from the UK. I mean, if you
UK,
count all of those in.
yeah, but I got to tell you, there was this when I was doing Without a Trace. You know, there were like on that cast alone were a few Australians.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of like the Australian wave at one point, and they. Instead of just giving them like having them have Australians speak the way they speak, they all like had to change into this American accent, and it really
And they're brilliant at it.
and they're brilliant, exactly. But it kind of bothered me and a lot of my friends who were Americans who had gone up for those roles, but were like, no, because. And it was interesting to me, like why that I mean, I don't know why it happened, and that's a rhetorical question. I don't know why it happened, but there are so many actors here that are good, and there's so many crappy actors here too. Okay, maybe they should go to England and Australia, and we should do like an actor swap. But for the most part, they weren't hiring a lot of American actors. But I mean, do you think that's changed?
I think that, like anything in this world and in life, I feel so blessed. I am so lucky. I don't know why I got chosen to do this, but I did. I did get chosen. And I think that's what happens in life. There are brilliant actors out there that will never be seen.
Yeah.
Ever. Musicians will
Exactly.
never be heard.
At least not on a grand scale.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. I mean, a small theater or, a little gig here and there, comedians. I can say that about every avenue.
Athletes.
Of our,
Yeah.
Yes, right. Maybe it's the luck of the Irish. I mean,
That's what it is.
Was
It's
there
the
any
leprechaun in
negative-
your pocket?
Was there negative aspects to being famous that you went through?
well, did you see the new movie Blonde?
Actually, that's funny that you say that
Yeah.
because I tried to put it on. I was so disturbed, and I still am, from the scene with the child in the car, that I forwarded past it to when she would be Marilyn, and then saw her get attacked, like basically used in the studio, and then I just turned it off because I said I can't watch this. It was too upsetting to me.
It was too real.
I think that everyone I've spoken to so far has been hugely disturbed. I sat and watched the whole thing, being very much in pain for her.
The people that were supposed to protect her.
But they did that a lot. I mean, like Judy Garland was a child.
Absolutely.
She should have been protected, and
and
instead
they used her.
And they used her.
They used her.
And her parents were co-conspirators.
Yes.
Oftentimes
Yes,
that's the
right.
case. Yeah.
Yes, it is
I
the
see.
case. And
It's not all that we think it is.
no, it isn't. And that's a big version of it's not all that we think it is. I mean, and I can tell you right now, that was exactly her life. Exactly. The feelings that you feel when you watch that movie, that director nailed it. The influence that the chemicals had on her and the booze, which was in ready supply. Everyone wanted to get her high because they reaped the benefits of it in some
Yeah.
weird way. It was,
It's like you're not even treated like a human being.
Correct.
That's right.
That is correct. You become invisible.
I mean, you haven't seen when you really get into it.
No, I didn't watch the rest of it because I was already so disturbed.
Yeah.
I mean, we did the movie. We did the original movie based on the book. And, Poppy Montgomery, the Australian.
Yes.
She was in it. I mean, we shot it in Australia. And that really, because it was network television, sugar-coated it. And so watching this from a whole other perspective, it really was sickening.
Well, I think a lot of ideals are going to be blown.
Yeah.
How people see this.
Oh,
I think this whole image thing, and believe me, I love. What's the word? To idolize people.
Yeah.
I mean, just like Elvis, he burned out.
Yeah.
He was a flashing flame. He burned out. All these
Yeah.
incredibly talented people. You just
Judy.
talked about it.
But
a
even
little
we
Dorothy.
But we even go really far back. For example, Billie Holiday.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But they had to do this.
Yes.
They were
Yeah.
used, not just by the humans. I swear, there's a God out there that said, "Okay, I'm planting you now. You are going to come to Earth, and you are going to burn brightly, and this is your job." It's a very strange thing, and I don't take hallucinogenics. I think these thoughts, and I think somewhere they may be real. Because I mean, they have to be. Thoughts are things. They're just. I'm
It's
not
energy.
making
Yeah.
Thoughts are energy.
That's
It
right.
is.
Energy
It
I'm
is.
not- we're all
making-
energy. Energy's what the life force is.
It's our everything, and so that's what they give. They sacrifice. Look at you. Take us back hundreds of thousands of years. People were sacrificed. It's
Yeah.
a strange thing to think that has to happen. Children and
I mean,
people.
let's even talk really far. The Salem witch trials. I mean,
Yes.
just for example.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean that. I mean, it's like every decade, maybe it's not as horrible as it was back in the day, but still, it's that mentality that continues to thrive. Maybe it's not as cruel, but there is that element that goes through it. I mean, like Harvey Weinstein, that not nice man.
Right.
That went on in Hollywood. That boys'
right.
club
It did.
went on. I was
Yep.
part. I mean, I wasn't part of Harvey's team, but that has all happened not to me, in certain respects.
We've all observed that, given our exposure to the industry on different levels. Joanna, given that we're talking about this, in your experience, your wealth of experience in different genres, I ask you, for anyone that may be listening that has, not even a fraction of your experience or exposure, what would you advise them? What could you suggest so that they maybe don't have some of those pitfalls that
You better have your shit together.
Yep.
And you better be sober.
Mm-hmm.
And you better believe in yourself. You have to surround yourself with amazing people who are going to guide you, who are going to
Support
hold
system.
out support system, are going to hold out their hand and say, "Sister or brother, you're going down the wrong path."
Whitney Houston, another
Come on.
perfect
Oh
example.
my God. Oh, that
Poor woman.
Yeah, that was
incredible
awful.
talent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at how that guy came along and destroyed her.
Yeah.
See, I don't know
Yeah.
the full story, but
Oh.
I
That was
saw they're
awful.
doing a movie in December.
Well,
for
Well,
her.
you don't know the full story, but pretty much this.
Oh my gosh, the
Guy.
the documentary is enough. I
Enough.
mean, it
Yeah,
shows
I
watch
never
that
saw
documentary.
that.
Watch it.
exactly
I
what
loved
happened
Whitney
to
I
that
have to
guy.
tell
Tragic.
you, I watched the Elvis movie last night, and I've been felt a little sick to my stomach all day.
Uh-huh.
I just
The
felt
one
like
that just came out.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
I just felt so bad for him. I felt like he just got eaten up, not just by Colonel Parker, who was such a narcissist con man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but also by his family. I
Yep.
mean, his own father, all his friends. Like, he was just a meal ticket to them.
But that's the thing. I mean, sometimes like you want, it's like what price fame?
Right.
What
Right.
price fame? Is it like everybody who wants to be famous? I mean, even these kids now, they have they have nothing, and
They're a product.
They're on YouTube making millions of dollars for no talent. For whatever, doing stupid things, but they are famous. But at what price? When you really have talent, at what price fame? And
Well, but
so
don't you think? I mean, you can say they don't have talent, but they have some kind of ingenuity in order
Absolutely.
to be able to get the 3-4 million followers.
It's good to be
when most people
creative.
have 12 followers.
But being creative is one thing, and then having being creative in thoughts. I mean, having thought processes or thinking. Like, we're all creative people here, but it's having a craft. And those are the people that have a craft, that are creative and have a craft, that I admire, that I look for mentors. I don't look at these 12-year-olds and going, well, they've got an idea that worked and they're a multimillionaire right now. I don't respect them. I really don't.
Well, it's because old Hollywood, they could sing and they could dance. Today, the Hollywood is looked at in a different way
But we do
because their
have
skill set.
But we do have some very talented up and coming young men and women. I mean, we really do. And you could just see by the projects that they've chosen, and and then the award things are great, but that helps you get further in your career if you get an award.
I think a lot of it's flash,
yeah. Okay.
and
too.
I'm saddened by it because it's not going to last. Although, I mean, I have to say, I don't know that anything lasts today.
But you have longevity.
I-
You have had
I've
longevity.
lasted so
You do.
You've lasted. You've lasted, but that's
You're
not.
the only thing that lasts.
But the thing is, that's what I'm saying. You have a craft. You hone that craft. It's not like you're a one-hit wonder.
No.
I think that in the day, and like I said before, there just weren't that many people in the business. We weren't international. Well, we were international. Sorry, but we weren't connected like we are today. We're with the internet and able to just tune in.
Yeah.
Pick up somebody in Taiwan. Like we are now. It's huge. I think it's a little too huge for me. I think really big scares me. We're not. What I was thinking about today is we don't have the time. We don't have time to grow today. We had plenty of time to grow. We had the land around us to grow. We could watch our emotions. We could see ourselves react. And now it's like this and this and this and this and this, and there's just no time.
The global expansion and how we've evolved.
Well, and just our attention span has gotten like a hummingbird.
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
I mean, I've interviewed so many musicians from the 60s and 70s and 80s that a label would sign you and literally give you 4 albums to get a hit.
Yep.
You had 4 albums till you hit. Now you have to bring a hit to them.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And all your
And if you don't get a
followers.
follow-up hit in 6 months, you're done.
But
Jeez.
most people aren't going with the record labels anymore because they want those Disney kids that can go out of the gate singing pop crap that'll make them
Yes.
money.
Yes.
So, I mean, I just went the other night to go see Roxy Music.
I saw that.
They've been together 50 years, which that's a long time. And they started the show and did chronologically. So they started in 73.
Interesting.
So I didn't know any of that stuff. So I was like listening, and it was beautiful music. And then I was able to start singing the words like 30 minutes into the show, because that was the 80s. That was my generation. And then I sat there going, why didn't he sing Slave to Love? And then my friend said, well, because that was his solo career.
Right.
He will not sing it here.
I love that
He
song.
will not sing it here because it's not Roxy Music. I'm like, oh my God, they're at their 50th tour. How long do these guys have to live? Could they have not thrown me a bone?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one song. But
Look at the Stones.
Yeah.
There they're going. They're still going. I love that they're still going. I love that they have no boundaries and ill thoughts about their looks or their carriage. They still have it. They still have that. They have that thing, whatever that thing is.
You have that thing.
Yeah.
You're very passionate about the world and very passionate about people and your art. Do you talk about that in your memoir?
Well, I will. Pardon me. I started that memoir, and fairly long time ago, in and out, I write these things, and I go, that has to change. I've got to restructure that. I'm still learning. I'm still putting it together. Yes, when this memoir comes out, if I decide to do that, it will be.
So it's still a work in progress.
It is,
Okay.
and so am I.
We all
but
are.
we all are.
We all are.
I mean,
Yes,
the
we
minute
all
we
are. That's
stop, and settle, what's the point? Like, what's the point of living the rest of your life just being stagnant? Like, I talk to people, and most of my friends are older than I am, and I'm always into change. I like change. Growing, and then I'm too old to change. I'm like, but you're never too old to grow. I mean, what's the fear of changing?
It's not the fear, it's the comfort that they think they have by not changing.
I don't know. I think fear plays a role into it, because then I don't know. What do you think, Joanna, about
I
change?
think there's always fear underneath, but I think I was silly. I was thinking I like to change my clothes.
Like
And
right now?
no.
Costume change.
Like right now?
Little strip tease.
I mean, we'll go, pick what we want. We can go change the top right
Can we
now to
all
make
do
you
it?
feel better. I mean, I don't know. We aim to please and accommodate on this show because we're always,
Tony, close your
we're
eyes.
this ebb and this flow. He's a gay man. He's
my gosh.
she's about the safest from him in this room, okay?
Yeah, I know, right?
You're the safe zone.
So you want to change your style?
Well, I just, I think I watch people like Betsy Johnson, who has been such a major fashion force. I love fashion.
Yeah.
I love it. I really do. One of my go-tos is Rick Owens, who's married. His wife is like 30-some years older than he is, and she picked him up when he was a little talented boy, and she took him along. I can't think of her name. My gosh, she I used to buy her clothes years ago when she was on her own doing
Laura
her
Ashley.
Oh,
she was
that's
around too.
old school.
I was never a
Yeah.
No
Laura
one
Ashley
should wear
woman.
Laura Ashley unless you're a
can't-
school mom
Yes.
in
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
I can't
yeah.
picture
Okay.
Laura Ashley
Hey, wait
being
a
with
minute.
a
Laura
man.
Ashley. Who the
But
hell?
it was very popular.
Yeah,
isn't
that
it?
was.
No, but I think we have to be willing to like.
You know who I have to hook you up with?
Who's that?
Maggie Norris. She's a designer out of New York. She's a friend of mine.
Okay.
I need to, because I always turn people on to her, and she has couture fashion. I need, because I know you like clothes, and you've got, I mean, you're tall.
Yes,
which I don't.
slender.
I'm not. Tall and slender. You've got like clothes that fits bodies well. I mean, no,
Body that-
body fits clothing well. Blah,
Yeah.
blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I understand. Well, I used to model.
I know.
Right.
Yes.
So
Right.
I will give you her. I'll connect you, because I think I mean, if you're close, if you like that stuff, she's kind of Betsy Johnson-ish, but a little classier. You know how Betsy is just very free and
Yeah,
unstitched?
yeah.
Yeah. This
Polka
she's a
dots
lot
and all the
classier. Yeah,
ruffles
yeah.
And things. No, I'm sort of Ralph Lauren
Yeah, good
kind
stuff.
of thing. Very, very conservative, but then I'll do a
Marquesa.
wild thing.
Right.
Crazy earrings or something. But I like that. I think I don't know why that fear thing runs us. I'm trying to get to the bottom of that.
Fear
Well, we
of
think
judgment.
it's women. We think it's primarily women that's guided by fear more than guys,
Oh, I think so.
because guys pretty much get what they want.
Yeah, but don't you think with guys, the fear of losing control
Yeah.
of the patriarchy no longer being in control,
they
certainly don't
that
like
is a
that.
fear that runs through them, and that's why they hold women back. So I think men have every bit as much fear as women.
I
It's
do
a
too.
different kind of fear.
Absolutely. So fear, I think we have to find another word for it. Really, it's riveting, but it also galvanizes us. My fear when my kids and I got a divorce was, how am I going to take care of myself? How am I going to raise, pay for education? How am I going to
Yeah.
do this stuff? How am I going to pay for a house? Oh my God, boy, it got me moving.
Yep.
It still does.
So
I just always have that thing.
So we're like, what do your kids do? Are they in the business?
Oh, my kids are very happy and successful. My daughter's an interior designer.
Nice.
My son is a chef and
Ooh.
is helps in the addiction community.
So you did well.
I did okay. I did just fine.
Yes, you did well by them.
Yes.
That's
yes,
great.
I think I was a decent mother. I do.
It's hard. A single mom is hard. I don't care who you are.
I think being a mom, period, is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we'll
I'm
never
just
be
always
one.
amazed that. There they are.
they are.
Oh,
There's
Oh,
my
wow.
adorables. How'd you do that?
that's him.
That's really good. Wow. And it's all these. Pardon me. All these things we have to. I don't know how young people today are even thinking about having children in this world. Ooh.
I
Mercy.
skip
Yeah.
it.
I would
that.
be. I would never had. Well, I mean,
No kids
Never
for me.
had them.
I don't have them either.
Was always really scared
for me.
about like just looking at how the world was starting to change at the time when I still could have kids.
Yes.
I'm not that I can, because of course everybody can still adopt now. But at the time, biologically having children, you want to talk about fear? I was in fear of doing that, not just seeing how this whole country was getting, and the world was just being corrupted and chipped away at little by little.
But I have a thought on this.
Yes.
And I think that fear comes from standing still. I really do. If you don't engage, if you don't get out and make your thoughts become things,
You have
and
to execute.
actually-
Yeah.
you do. You have to confront the
agree.
stuff that you're thinking. My dream, which I never accomplished, was being in the field going to the war zones and being a photographer. I love
Photojournalist.
Wonderful.
photojournalist. I did
Yes.
a movie about
Yes.
it, Under
Yes.
Fire,
Yes, you
but
did.
I didn't do it in real life. And I think about that. I missed a moment. That kind of fear galvanizes me. And I would do that in a nanosecond and be sick with fear, but I would feel good about it.
Well, and on the other sense, you probably felt a lot of fear throughout your career that you did accomplish a lot of.
Oh, let me tell you, when I
Milestones.
walk on that set the first day on a show,
You still get fear?
I
Butterflies?
still do.
Wow.
But however, I've learned to, change it up, and I've learned to talk about it. And I don't hold it in.
I think. Would you think that a lot of fear is just the unknown, and once you do
it's
it,
excitement too,
Yeah.
and it is the unknown, and you're going, whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, my emotions are taking me into the big wave now.
But don't you like when because you're an actor, so you're saying you have a script, you've got people sort of giving their opinion on what you wear, how you look, what the character is, and then you really are putting your soul, your energy into someone who's directing you. And you have to, don't you feel that the connection between the director and the actor has to, you have to trust that person?
Well, that was in the old days. I think many of today's directors are simply, mechanics.
Okay.
And just moving the pieces of equipment around. I unfortunately, now that directors have boxes they can sit off in video world and watch it from there, that's not a connection.
Right,
That's,
okay.
that's
No, not at
really
all.
not. No, what you have to trust and believe in is you. You've got to be there for you, because you're the one that's happening, and not only you but God.
Right.
You say, okay, I'm giving up. I can't do this by myself. I need
Yep.
your help. Someone or some force, some energy, come into me now. I need you. Let me get it so that I can trust myself. I can really get out there. And I know the words. I'm familiar with the character. I think I know what I'm doing, but now I'm depending on you. Then the director will come in and say, Joanna, can you do it this way? Can you try it a little bit? I said, okay, fine. Let's do some adjusting, and we'll go on from there. I love to talk about acting. I love to talk about, the ways of it. I'm still part of the actor's studio.
I was going to say, yeah.
Nice.
Yep. And
Beautiful.
how much improving have you done when you're, in these roles? Do they allow for any ad-libbing?
no, they don't. No, they
Oh.
don't. They years ago, I guess maybe it's 15 years now. The writers were allowed on the set. They get to sit in with the directors, and so in video world, is everybody. You've got your writers, your director, your producers. You've got your the woman that's. I can't think of her name now, but anyway, she's keeping all the notes,
Dialogue.
making sure everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah. Continuity.
Script
continuity.
supervisor.
Thank you. And where was I going?
It's
with
tough
this?
because
I just
you're
was wondering
shooting
if
pages.
they ever let you
Oh no, the improv. No. It's unfortunately
You're shooting
say
pages
this.
per minute.
because when you put the words out, it's become a little too precious. Because an actor can take scenes and put words in that make it make sense. Sorry, writers, but
right, of course.
And on the other hand, I can't override that because I respect actors, writers enormously, and I read their words and I go, I just did it today. I'm going, that doesn't make sense. I don't know why why don't they put a period here and then start it out again? I don't like this. and then somebody with me said, no, Joanna, okay, hear it this way. And so he did the line, and I went, oh, okay, all right, I'll work with that. Yes, I can do that. I can make that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's strange, new things coming at you. You can look at it, you can read it, and go, okay, we're gonna pass that one by, or I'll take it, or I'll whatever. But then when it goes in your mouth, wow, you're trying to wrap your jaw around it and your lips around it, and sometimes it's really hard. So the answer is there used to be a lot more improvising. If you're working with some comedy directors, they
Yeah, like
will let you
Brooks.
do that.
Yeah.
They'll let you do it.
Well, what's his name?
Mel Brooks.
Larry, not Mel Brooks. What's his name?
Sanders? Or no,
Larry David?
Larry
David,
David.
yes.
They
His
had,
whole
I mean,
show.
they don't exactly. What I've been told is that he sort of gives a synopsis of
Yes,
how
that's
he
right.
wants things to happen, and then he just lets them do what they do.
Yeah.
Which is rare. That doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah,
at all.
Was there
Sometimes
ever?
it doesn't. Sometimes it falls flat on its face, and you pick it up,
Yeah.
and then you
I
work
think
it
it
again.
works if you're working with a group of actors that are familiar with
Yeah.
each other, like the actors that Christopher Guest uses.
Yes.
I
Oh,
was
I
just
love
yes,
they work
them.
together
I love
so many
Christopher Guest.
times.
He's my favorite.
They know each other. They've been friends for a
he's
million
my favorite.
years,
Fred
and
Willard.
they know how to throw things off of each other.
Right.
Was there ever a character you okay, 2 questions. This is 2. Was there ever a character you felt conflicted playing, like that you did just dislike the character or didn't agree with the character that compromised any morals? That's the first question. And the second one is, what character, or was there a character that you completely identified with over your span? So that's
Yes.
2 different character questions.
I totally identified with the mother in 6 Feet Under
Oh.
because
I don't even know how to comment about that. But
Tell us why.
she was so kind of awful, and for a while in my life I was pretty awful like that. But I was also very funny, and you liked me. Maybe that was when my narcissism was way up on that side. I don't know. I'm
We're
not
having
sure.
a surge.
yeah.
Yes.
And
The electric was flowing.
NS and NS.
Right. But then I loved working on Call Me Fitz with Jason Priestley.
Oh,
And
yes.
we were used car salesmen. Oh my God, I loved that character. It was so New Jersey. And I just thought she was hilarious. And I loved saying and doing those things and being wild and smoking and drinking. And, and I don't know. That was.
But
that
what
was-
about a character? Have you ever asked to play some character that, like, would, I don't want to say villain, but somebody that was
Not in alignment.
not in alignment in any way with who you are? Like, how do you separate that as an actor?
That's not easy. I have played a couple characters that are so unlike me. I just go, oh, I can't find anything in them that I like.
Wow.
Nothing, not one iota, and I've got to go. But I think the difference between European actors and Americans is that Europeans and some Americans with certain kind of training are very willing to be really ugly. And I have to say that's a little hard for me. And I'm not talking about physically. Yes, I am talking about physically ugly, but also mentally ugly.
Is that why we always cast British people as villains?
Yeah, I think
Exactly.
so.
Because they're okay with
Or
it.
is that
Right.
why so many actors, some of them, like Heath Ledger when he played, what is that, the
Joker?
the Joker, or Angelina Jolie said when she played Gia that it's so disturbing to them that they either can't handle it after that they're done with that role, or they just quit acting, or
I think it's in some cases that can happen.
Wow.
You could get really disturbed by something. I've never let that happen to me, really. I'm too much on the light side, and I kind of, as I go back over my career, I think, geez, maybe I really should have let myself get really, really dark. And I've acted dark in
Have
things.
you done theater?
I did.
Do you like theater?
I did a play called 3 Feet Under. That was
It's hilarious.
here in LA, and it was written by Lily Tomlin.
Oh.
And it was on a 6-foot raked stage, and it was a period piece. It was in the 60s, so I got to wear Mr. John clothes, the ruffles and all
Awesome.
this, with a big beehive and platform shoes. And I have to say, I was terrified. I was terrified that I was going to roll down the stage and roll into the audience. Seriously, I mean, it was dangerous.
yeah.
But I really liked it, and I never did much theater. I never did it.
Is
I
it just the interaction of the audience that you can also feel it? like
Oh, you
right
can
there.
not only feel it, you can see it. You can see somebody's eating in the front.
Oh my gosh.
You know, drinking their bottle of water, knocking it over, and you're going, "Oh my God, how can I stay on key with this one?"
There's also that beautiful ensemble camaraderie, right?
Yeah.
There's
Oh my
nothing
God,
like
yes.
there's nothing,
Nothing
like
like it.
Going through
making
that.
it with a group of actors like
Yep.
that, where you're
Incredible.
actually telling a story in real time, and that's a spiritual thing too, right? Because you're standing there thinking, there's no way we're all going to remember our lines, remember our cues. The curtain goes up. It's like you blink your eyes, the curtain's going down, and it's done.
And it's done.
And you don't even remember what happened or what happened during that
If
time.
you're in the zone.
Yeah.
I was on the stage with Patty, the lead in that 3 Feet Under thing, and I went up, and I had this dress on that had like 8 layers, and I picked up probably like 5 of the layers, and I said, "What the fuck is my line?" and you know, but the audience just saw these, you know, waves of crinoline. That's all they saw. And anyway, she wrote the play as well. She said, "This is your," and she told me the line, and she filled me in by, you know, saying the line.
Oh my God.
I mean, I had to sing and everything, and
Oh, you sing
A little bit of a
too.
musical.
a
Okay.
little bit of a
Nice,
musical,
nice.
but that was a great ensemble. And then one of the actors killed himself afterwards.
Oh,
So-
how
but
sad.
listen, that's all part of it, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
all part of it. That was live theater, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about now?
Well, on that note, do you believe about life after death? Do you think he's here watching us?
I was just talking about that last night with a friend of mine. I was saying, I want to see my dogs. I'm dying to see all my dogs and my kitties. And my
Yes.
parents.
Yeah.
I want to
Yes.
see my parents. I miss them terribly. I really want to believe that. I want to.
They're
so
waiting
badly.
for us.
I feel that way.
Do you have brothers and sisters? You come from a large family besides your mom and your
No,
dad?
just my sister.
Ah.
That's all. That's all.
Is she still in New Jersey?
She's in Florida. Same thing.
Where all they all go.
South Jersey.
But I hope she's okay.
I hope she's safe.
yeah, exactly. I hope she's safe, but really, she's in Florida.
she's okay. She's okay.
I thought about moving to Florida, and then I saw the pictures of an alligator in a house, and I'm like, no, I'm good.
Look, I'm just going
I'm
to tell you,
good.
there's 2 places I would never move. I mean, completely, because everything like batshit crazy happens there, Texas and Florida. And they get away with it, you know? So, yeah, I'll stick away from those. But what do you think about, I mean, what was I going to say? Has anything ever intimidated you in life?
Oh, good Lord, yes. Of course, people intimidate me. I mean,
Seriously?
sometimes. If they, this was early on. Nothing.
Okay.
I could meet presidents and all this now, and I would not be intimidated at all. In fact, I'd have a nice conversation. But in the day, coming here and, you know, meeting heads of studios and casting people and all, I was terrified.
Yeah.
When I went on the Carson show, I was terrified. Let me tell you. But I
Really?
roller skated on. I can't
Yep.
believe I did that. I can't. See, you see, this is this thing.
Was
we were
that your
talking about
idea?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I was doing roller girls. At the
Oh,
time.
okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, that'll be fun. Until I put the skates on, and I went, oh my God, I've got to, you know, skate all in between. And what if I fall and
Yeah.
trip on one of these? That was
Right.
horrible, and I'm quaking in my boots. But my adrenaline was, you know, pumping, which is, see, adrenaline or not, fear or not, we got to do
I think
these
LA's
things.
tough. I think you have to have a really tough, resilient kind of skin to make it here and to
I
live
do too.
here.
Yes,
I
do
don't
too.
care what anybody says. I've lived here for over 30 years. I worked a little bit in the entertainment business, and it's a tough place. It's a tough crowd, the people, the industry.
Yeah.
And if I were to say, you know, personally, if I were to say that to anyone that were, you know, that was coming here, that was new, it's like, you know, you have to be resilient. I don't care whether you make it or not, and that people define that in different ways for themselves. You have to be tough
You do.
emotionally.
Yes, you do.
Well, you can get too tough,
Yeah.
like I did for a while.
You
and-
can get
and then
hardened a little
You
bit.
can get hardened.
and that's where that fear comes in, because you don't want to be emotionally vulnerable, because there's this And part of it
Because
is,
you could be
we've
hurt.
talked about this in the past, part of
Yep.
it is our environment because we're in LA, because we assume that people are just
But you
not
know what?
going to be good.
As women in this is in a business that was run. I mean, I started I'm at CBS for 33 years. I started 35 years ago. So I was a kid. I mean, I literally was a kid when I started. And I was scared. But you had to sort of build up this bravado or fake, to just say, hey, I'm okay. I may be 24 years old or 25,
Sure.
but I know what I'm doing. And you go through that and you do become hardened. There was a while there I was completely jaded. I mean, I'm sure we all were. But I think as a woman, we really, the ones who have made it had to be strong. Because to have a longevity, whether you're an actor or in any aspect of the entertainment field, because everybody I know, from actresses to people on my level and other executives, we all went through that Me Too. We all, and lived to tell about it. Maybe not then, but later on. So there is a resilience. I mean, you're resilient. I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, I remember you back in the day. You were tough. You were like a broad. You were like, it's so funny because I'll tell you were a broad. I mean, you were a broad.
Was I?
You were a broad, but you were funny. That's
Broad.
the thing. She would deliver. I remember because I remember you on set. She would deliver things. And some people were a little quick in their shoes when you deliver. Not because you were so nasty or not that you were a bad person, but you just had that confidence and that aura about you that you were a force to be reckoned with. They respected you. And I guess maybe it was that. But, and I use broad in a good term because I was called it. I'll tell you really quick, I was on a set, we did the West Side Waltz, which was a play on Broadway. And in it was Kathy Bates, Shirley MacLaine, Liza Minnelli, Jennifer Grey, Joel Grey, and there was about others. And I was in heaven because, I mean, these are all most of them were iconic to me. And I remember walking on the set, and I was so nervous because I had to say, hi, I'm Gaye Ann Bruno. We're going to do these photos for all these people that are going to probably smack me in the face or even with the palm frond if one was available. So I remember going in the corner, just like smoking, like chain smoking, because I had to talk to the AD. I was so intimidated by them. And all of a sudden, at some point I get a little tap on my shoulder and I turned around with Shirley MacLaine. I almost died at that point. And she goes, you got a cigarette, kid? And I'm like, yeah, take 2, take 5. And she goes, I've never seen you on set before. Who are you? I mean, and she was like, that's Shirley MacLaine. And I said, well, I'm the photo producer and la 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 la. And she goes, you could be my great grandchild. I mean, like literally. So I had to, at that moment, stop that and go into like not fangirl shy, oh my God mode, and really present myself as a professional because I needed these people to trust me that I could do the job because it's photo, and we all know how photos are. How all you people are with photography. It's the lighting, it's the positioning, it's the look at this side. It's this side is my favorite side, and then she turned around. But after production, that was like a movie of the week, so maybe it lasted 15, 16 days or something. She goes, you know what, kid, you're a broad. I'm like, oh, so that was a compliment. So I am complimenting you, saying you're a broad.
Oh, I like that. Well, in the 40s, those women were broads.
They were broads.
They really were with their their T-shaped jackets and big shoulders.
Oh,
and
gosh,
tight
yes.
skirts, and they walked around. They gave their lines like this. and they were broads. They were my.
That reminds
people.
me of Joan Crawford.
My people, but it's
my
like
people.
we have a saying here. I didn't make it up. It's the saying is, was it your vibe finds your tribe? And
you're amazing. Look at you. That's
yeah.
Oh,
That
yes.
was it.
There they are.
There they are.
Just broads.
That's right. Look at them. They're incredible. Their men were off to war, and they were working
And they took
in
care of
the
business.
they took care of
They
business. They had
continued to allow. They let this
They
country.
grew the gardens.
Yep.
They raised the kids.
Yep.
They made the house. Look at them. That's
played
where I feel
softball.
like
I love that
feel like
fashion. I love that fashion.
Yeah.
I've always
Me too.
loved that
Love
fashion.
Love it. Yep.
Wow.
The designer who designed Rachel's clothes in Blade Runner I just thought I loved those clothes. I loved them, and they were taken right off the style of the 40s.
Yeah.
You know, with the big shoulders, and they were just fabulous, gorgeous things.
I think that's why I loved watching Dynasty.
yeah,
Because when
They were
Alexa,
awfully big. They
when
were-
Joan
Right.
Collins came on, and she came on, her first thing was, I remember in the witness stand with that sort of outfit, with the hat, with the veil. I thought, oh my God, I just and that whole her whole fashion statement throughout that whole time that she was on Dynasty, I just fell in love with.
there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. There she is.
Wow. Who designed the snake?
Yeah, exactly.
The snake was mine.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. So it's almost time. Believe it or not, an hour and a half has passed.
Oh, that
I
was
would,
so much
I
fun.
would love for you to come back.
I'd love to come
You
back.
can just come back anytime you want. Just call me again. I've got nothing to do next Friday. You want me to come in?
Okay.
I'd love you to be a rotating co-host
thank
with us because
you.
you really do fit in. Some people come in and they do the deal and they, it's like they were nice, but you actually really fit in this group. And I just want to say thank you for
Thank
out of, X amount of years not talking to you or even working with you because you went on to bigger and better things, that, when I literally reached out to you on Facebook Messenger, you responded. So I just want to say thank you because it's an honor that you're here and you're real people and that's the way we like
Thank
it here.
you. Thank you, all of you.
My
really
pleasure.
great.
Thank you.
Really.
So
Thank
why don't
It
you
was
tell
great.
us sort of, where can people find you? What is it? What's the official JoannaCassidy.com is your website?
Right, and then it's I think it's Joanna Cassidy official on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I put up a great picture a couple Instagrams ago. It was a photo. You may be able to find this. It was a photo of my back, and I liked putting that picture.
I
up
saw
because-
it.
You saw it?
Well, anything naked, half naked, I'm going to pick. Of course, I'm going to see it.
She blew it up really
I blew
big.
it up really
put it on
big
her
and checked the
ceiling.
resolution. It's my wallpaper.
Well, it was funny because now
my
who is
God.
Elon Musk's
His dad?
girlfriend? No, the girlfriend. She just had a picture of her back on Instagram, and I put them. Oh, there we are. There you got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I kind of put them together, and I went, "Wow, I'm not that far apart.
No.
it's not bad.
No, not at all. Those tattoos?
Yeah,
Yes.
those are gorgeous.
Yeah.
What birds are those? Just
Those are blackbirds from the Beatles, and they're my children and me.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Blackbirds
I love
fly
that.
in the dead of night.
Oh,
It's one of my
I
favorite
love
Beatles
that
songs.
you're dark.
what?
It's kind of dark.
Spiritual.
Yes.
Yeah, like dark but spiritual, not like
They
dark
are.
like witches. But
No, they're not
Yeah.
ravens.
Witches aren't
No,
always
but
dark.
They're
Right?
not going to come down and
Well,
vultures.
You start putting on.
Don't diss
You
witches.
start having
Yes.
a tattoo of Edgar Allan
Yeah,
Poe.
yeah.
I may be questioning my whole fantasy with you,
Oh my God.
Like a Ouija board tattoo.
like a Ouija board. Are those the only tattoos you have?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to divulge that's secret?
No.
Okay.
No, it'll all come out. It'll be out, after I die or something.
Don't say that. We should do a celebration of life, and you should say it. Everything. You should
I
just
do
be
celebrate life. I celebrate life almost every day. I've got cats too, and I love
Cats.
my
Love
Yes.
animals. And
cats.
It's a spiritual connection with a cat.
Oh, what animal? Or, what organization? So first of all, on your website.
last night I was part of the Children's First Responders charity, and we spoke at that, and it was brilliant. All these firemen and policemen, and I went on to say, which was really, I hadn't thought about it for a long. I don't think about things for a long time, but I was in a show called 240 Robert, where we were emergency services department, and that was. I loved doing that. I felt so. It was with Mark Harmon and John Ben Perry, and that there I was doing what I loved doing, which is all those crazy things, rappelling off the side of a mountain, and driving cars fast, flying a helicopter, which I flew.
Oh, you
because we
did?
had dual controls in the helicopter,
Nice.
so
Nice.
my pilot and I were. They didn't know on the ground that I was flying the helicopter. So.
Wow.
But that's those kind of scary things.
Yeah,
and
they're
I said,
just
I'm right
fun.
in there. Yeah, right in there. Oh, I can't believe you. You're amazing.
Look
at
how
this.
young Mark Harmon was. I worked
Yep.
with him on NCIS. So.
Yeah. Yeah, look how young I look.
Well,
oh
you
my
look the same,
gosh.
but you look the same.
I don't. Anyway, but thank you.
But yes, you do.
But anyway, so yeah, so that's I don't have a specific animal charity right at the moment. I'm looking around.
Okay.
I'm looking, but I'm always up for that. Always happy when people come to me for something that I could lend my name to and be out there with.
Dogs, cats, horses.
Anything.
Yeah,
beautiful.
anything.
Great.
Stephanie Powers is a dear friend
love
of mine,
her.
and she's obviously very involved with the animals. So we're, we do what we can. I do have. I'm going to give myself a little plug.
Absolutely.
I do go on this Coach the World to talk to people if they want to talk to me. I do Cameo. Who doesn't? But I love it. Somebody asked me, would you please say happy birthday to my wife and blah, blah, blah. And but then I end up spending 15 minutes
Right.
instead of
Right.
2 sentences.
Right.
It's not just a happy birthday. I love to talk to people because
I would have never guessed that. It was like pulling teeth to have you on the
Yes,
show.
yes.
I was worried. No. But
So-
thank you. Thank you so much. So it's official Joanna Cassidy. You could find her on Instagram at official. Is it official Joanna
it's-
Cassidy?
or Joanna Cassidy.
Cassidy.
official
Hold on.
Joanna?
There's an official and a Joanna Cassidy.
Yeah.
Just play mix and match. It's,
and
it's
then,
like
then it all goes.
it all goes. Yeah.
You can find me.
But everything's on there. But the coaching thing, that's on your website, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Any new stuff coming out besides the L word that we haven't touched upon that you'd like to talk about or promote?
Well, I've got a couple movie that's in the can, and then I'm doing a German film, a boxing film, which I'm going to be in the ring
No
with
way.
the boxer. Yeah.
That must be fun.
So I'm his masseuse
Oh.
Nice.
and coach, kind of.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to be really interesting. Good, strong hands.
It's that
And
Irish
I
stock.
Yeah.
What?
Irish stock.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Well, these are working hands, that's okay. So that's going to be cool. What else have I done? I've done something else that hasn't. Anyway, that's it for now.
Go on her website and follow
the
her on
website's
Instagram.
not- yeah, go-
Follow her on Instagram. You'll
There
see
you go.
really like half naked pictures, which is well worth the price
Is
of.
that an awful picture? Really? Is
No,
that
it's
terrible?
beautiful.
No,
photo?
it's great. It's a great
I
photo.
literally saw it, and it really, because first of all, I'm in photography. I've been in photography for many years. I looked at your website, and saw the
Yep,
photography.
yep,
So you
yep.
do have a keen eye, and I love
Thank you.
that it was in black and white. So that people, they tend to like throw away black and white because everything's instant gratification and color. But my favorite is
Black and white.
Yeah, and if I could still
It's a
do
mood.
photo shoots and still do film on some of it, just to get that. Just
It's a texture.
It's
a
just the
layer.
texture.
It's so beautiful.
I
It's-
wish we could do that, but we cannot in this age of quick turnaround.
I know.
And
I
they go,
know.
well, you can put that crackle and stuff in Photoshop. Yeah, but it's inauthentic, and I know it's fake, and I don't like anything fake, and that's why you're here, because you're not. You're anything but fake. You are genuine. So thank you.
That's a compliment. Thank you.
I want to say, Sheena Metal, thank you again for
Thank you.
driving
My
in from
pleasure
hell.
for being here. Absolutely.
And where would you like to? What's your website?
You
and
can
all that
find me
stuff?
at SheenaMetalSpiritual.com. I'm a psychic medium and a 28-year talk radio host. Come and find me, and SheenaMetalSpiritual.com, and social media, I'm just Sheena Metal, and I'm going to follow you on Instagram.
Okay, trust me, it's well worth the. Isabel.
Gallardo Isabel on Instagram or Isabel Gallardo on Facebook, and I am also going to follow you on Instagram because apparently that picture is I need it as
Yeah,
my,
you need
my
it on your
wallpaper.
You
yeah.
need it on your wallpaper.
Yeah.
Ms. Mara.
MaraShane.com is my website. You can find my custom shoes that I create, and my art portraits.
This is amazing.
Um,
Any other word from Ken or Margaret Cho?
No, okay. Well, they sent me a Margaret CD, which was so sweet, and she personally wrote a note to me on it, and then he wrote a note to me, and it was just I have it on my wall. It's great.
Nice.
We'll move. You tell me what other the next one on your list, and we'll move it on.
We'll ask if you. I don't know if you ever wear heels, Joanna, but you should see some of the stuff I do.
Oh, I'd love to. I
Okay,
would
and
love
also
to.
I
Great.
asked you to be on Facebook or on Instagram. I requested you.
Okay.
Requested.
Okay.
Requested. Everyone, thank you so much. Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony.
I think we'll be here next. Hold on, I'm sorry. I always do this because I don't know where the hell we are. Next week is October 7th. We'll be here with Patty Tierney. She's an author. She was a sex worker and supported her family as a sex worker.
Oh, wow.
Now she is just. She has a story to tell, and I can't wait for you all to hear it. That's next week, 7 p.m. Pacific, here on the United Broadcasting Network, Between the Sheets. You can follow me on Instagram, QTEBrat. And, if anything, I appreciate all of you out there watching, listening, sharing. It really means the world to me. You are our lifeblood, and because everything's energy, even though you're not here, it's just reciprocal back and forth. You're a mirror of us, and we are a mirror of you. So go out there, be safe, be well. I care about you. I love you. Be the authentic self of who you are. And as always, guys, how I end the show. Namaste.
Namaste.